I am thrilled to introduce Elena Rizzo from DLA Piper, who for years has steadfastly represented Sanctuary survivors. Elena has worked with Sanctuary for the last 5 years on multiple cases and is a steadfast and devoted attorney to the clients that she's served. She successfully completed several appeals on behalf of survivors, worked on complex matrimonial cases, and is currently representing a survivor of severe domestic violence in a complex custody and order of protection trial. Elena's current client, Farah, has been the victim of severe physical, verbal, and emotional abuse by her husband for years, resulting in his exclusion from their shared home and multiple criminal, neglect, and family court orders of protection against him. Farah's children repeatedly witnessed countless incidents of abuse and were the subject, tragically, of abuse on multiple occasions. Farah's husband has also engaged in financial abuse towards Farah and her children, including failing to pay over $200,000 in required child and spousal support and having Farah and her 5 children evicted from their home during the height of the pandemic. Most recently, Farah's abuser has sought custody and access to the party's 5 children, even though the children do not feel comfortable seeing him after he has repeatedly threatened them. This ongoing abuse has taken an extreme toll on Farah and her children mentally and financially. Elena jumped into this extremely complex, lengthy, and difficult case earlier this year with aplomb and grace and prepared the case for trial within a very short time frame. As soon as she joined the case, Elena shot into action, submitting requests for copious records, photos, and transcripts, completing FOIL requests, and reviewing the extremely lengthy docket history, all within the very tight turnaround of only several weeks. Ultimately, the trial was rescheduled, but Farah is more than prepared for her complex trial due to Elena's incredible and lightning-fast work. Elena is so dedicated to her clients, and I am honored to introduce her for this award. Congratulations to Elena for going above and beyond on behalf of Farah and her children. They are so lucky to have you fighting in their corner, and we are so grateful for you.
The work I've been doing for Sanctuary for Families made me realize that the results that we bring to our clients can be life-changing. As an attorney in private practice, and as many of the honorees today, I've been working on cases for the most sophisticated clients dealing with high-stake business disputes. But working with Sanctuary for Families makes me remind myself of the question, what lawyer do I want to be? I want to be the lawyer who will always find the time and use her skills to service the most vulnerable survivors. I first became involved with Sanctuary for Families in 2017. I was a junior associate then, and I knew very little about family law. What I didn't know was that I wanted to use my law license to help others. Sanctuary for Families offered me the opportunity to take a custody case on appeal before the first department. There was a lot at stake for our client. Sanctuary's team of attorneys guided me along the way, including with mock arguments. We presented the strongest possible case to the court, and we won the case on all counts.
I am thrilled to be here today to acknowledge the amazing work of Susan Cordero, pro bono attorney from Simpson Thacher. Susan has gone above and beyond over and over again on behalf of Sanctuary for Families and our clients in her family law work. First, I'm thrilled to acknowledge that Susan has led a pro bono program in our Bronx Family Justice Center, where she supervises associates from the firm who help our attorneys to conduct screening appointments on behalf of our clients. These screenings are very intensive. Many of them are just coming in on the heels of a severe incident of domestic violence. Susan has been amazing coordinating, supervising, and managing this program from the Simpson side. As if that weren't enough, Susan has also taken on many cases on behalf of our clients, and I'm going to talk about 2. The first is an appeal on behalf of my own client, which took place after we won a heavily contested, intensive custody battle that lasted for many years. Our client was awarded sole custody, and the father was given very limited visitation, with a provision that the child would only see the father during therapy with a therapist, and that the therapist would have to recommend whether the father could have unsupervised visitation in the future. Susan, who was not required to appear at the appellate division, told me that she just always likes to be there when the case is being heard. Well, I'm so glad that she was, because the court asked her a question about this order, saying that it was potentially an inappropriate authority to give the therapist to make a decision about whether there should be visitation. And in fact, Susan suggested a fix, which is that provision be stricken from the final order, which is exactly what the court did. What this did was it denied the father's appeal. It meant that the order stood just with that provision stricken, and it prevented my client from having to go back to court had the case been remanded to the family court for further hearings. The second appeal that Susan worked on and won on behalf of one of our clients was a case in which our client, unfortunately, was out of the country and for immigration reasons was unable to return to the country. Our client's mother petitioned for visitation with the child, and the lower court precluded the visitation, saying that our client's mother did not have standing. We appealed. Susan won the appeal, which ultimately resulted in this little boy being able to have extensive visitation with his grandmother. Thank you, Susan, for your generosity of spirit, your incredible work on behalf of our clients, your client-centered attitude, and the hard work that you put into all of your cases. Thank you.
Every encounter with the family court system can be a challenge, certainly for a survivor who would otherwise navigate a case alone, but even with an attorney, it can be an uphill battle. There are multiple appearances against the headwinds of an overburdened docket and the implications of trauma and contentious adversary, and each time you have to tell the story of your case, bring to light what happened, and identify what remedies can afford safety and protection. It's a lot. That's where Sanctuary and the pro bono attorneys from firms like Simpson Thacher provide guidance and extraordinary advocacy. And while we're always proud to do our part as lawyers, Sanctuary doesn't stop there. This is an organization that understands the support that is needed for survivors both inside and outside the courtroom. It makes a huge difference in our representation and in the lives of our clients that they can access help with shelter and counseling and economic empowerment programs. That's a very special aspect of what Sanctuary for Families brings when we work with them. Finally, partnering with and mentoring the other attorneys at Simpson Thacher who take pro bono matters through Sanctuary is a huge part of what keeps me going in this challenging type of work. The associates who dive in with the necessary preparation for a trial or oral argument, the attorneys in all of our offices who devote hours to our intake days, the brilliance and commitment of my Simpson Thacher colleagues makes me proud at every turn. I'm excited to accept this award with them.